What is up, everybody? It's Mark and Mike, and this is another The Wrestling Babble podcast by Wrestling Living. I am Mark the Mike. I'm joined by Louis Beans.
What is up? What is up?
And like every week, we do have a ton of wrestling to cover. We did actually, yeah, we'd have our WrestleMania review last week, and now we're going back to regular scheduled program with the weekend wrestling. But first, we go to our wrestling retrospect. Last week, you picked Bam Bigelow.
Yes, sir.
You know,
Uh, Go ahead, go ahead.
he was one of my favorite Hasbro figures.
What is a Hasbro? So I am clear, because I'm thinking the old school bendable ones, but that's not Hasbro.
No, that's
What's a Hasbro?
the Hasbro's before that. So what you're talking about is the bendies that they kind of Major Wrestling Figure Pod kind of brought back.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
they also had the Bone Crushers, which were like 95, 96.
And that was
Hasbro's was
okay.
early 90s. They did the hard
Mm-hmm.
plastic that had like one movement and shit.
Did they have actions?
Yeah,
They did have actions.
like
Okay.
Marty Jannetty had like the 2 feet together and he eject.
Okay.
Warrior
Okay.
was like the
Okay.
Gorilla Press Slam, shit like that. Bam Bam came out in the later series, and I actually thought he was like one of the best looking ones because he was very colorful and shit. I used to use him in my Power Rangers and shit. Like he was a regular dog and shit, so it was really cool. But he
Mm-hmm.
was always one of my favorite Hasbro figures. I still have that one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably beat up, but I still have that figure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow. You want to kick off their first match?
Yes, sir. So the first one I picked was Bam Bam. I sent it to you. Was Bam Bam Bigelow versus Bastion Booger.
Yeah. I, I'm a little angry that you sent me that video.
I mean, listen. Do you
Uh,
think what 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 does Big E say? He says you looking for 5-star matches. I'm just looking for big meaty men slapping me. So I'm not looking for everybody his greatest stuff. I'm just looking for stuff that entertain me. And I remember this because I saw it when it happened.
yeah,
Um, this is on Gimmick Mule
yeah.
on YouTube on his channel. If you want to see it, it says it is January 10th, 94. So that's when it happened.
Yeah.
I do remember them showing this on WWF on television. I forget what channel it was. Maybe it was USA. I don't know. Is this Raw? Yeah, it is Raw. It is Raw,
It
like
is raw.
old school
Yeah.
Raw, because you hear Macho on commentary.
Ooh
Um,
yeah.
the, I will say if you watch this video, it has the most chaotic beginning because they're showing you how the match started, and I was confused as to why Luna was out there rubbing Bastion Booger's back in the beginning, and then I guess he woke up and realized it was a woman, and then he just became infatuated.
Yeah.
So, uh, this is basically Luna getting Bastion Booger into a fight with Bam Bam, just being evil for no reason. The match is what it is. It is two big bodies flying at each other. Bastion Booger doesn't really get too much offense in.
Yeah.
He more just gets like a body slam, a clothesline, a shoulder block in. But he's more of a character wrestler, you know that.
Yeah. You ain't getting 5-star matches off of Bastion Booger.
No.
You
He's
getting like
just a
one and a
he's just a
half.
he's just a big white bowling ball,
Yeah.
and he just ping pongs around the ring. It's hilarious. But you get to see Bam Bam slam him, and you know what? That drives the crowd wild because Bastion Booger was a large lad. So
Yeah.
and that's about it. He goes outside, Luna taunts him, and he hits the headbutt. That's about it.
Yeah.
And no, before you ask, he did not eat anybody's food. So
Yeah. That's what he didn't eat during the match either, which is
no, he didn't get to.
yeah. Um, my first match. So one thing I found a lot of were weird tag team matches with Bam Bigelow.
Hmm.
Like just random people, maybe historic people, maybe like a bunch of Hall of Famers and things like that, but just random tag matches with people. So the first one that came up to mind was I found from NWA. This was 11/24, 1988. This is Barry Windham and Ric Flair versus Dusty Rhodes and Bam Bam Bigelow.
Wow. Okay.
It was
Okay.
a really good match. It was really fun, a really fun match to watch. Bam Bam was straight babyface, and the crowd was loving him in this match.
Hmm.
Cartwheels and all, and then him and Dusty had some cool tag team maneuvers and everything like that, and their characters kind of worked together and that stuff. Very good match. You get whatever you get from you get from Ric Flair. Barry Windham is actually very underrated too. If you actually that's the uncle of Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas.
Hmm.
But yeah, that would be my first match.
Okay. That's my second one. This is, I believe, from ECW. It is Bam Bam Bigelow versus Terry Gordy.
Terry Gordy. That was a crazy match. Was that the scaffold one or no?
No, it's not.
They
It's
have a
not.
scaffold match. You should watch that because he falls really bad.
I will look that up. Um, it is 10/5/1996.
Yeah,
It is called the Battle of the Bam Bams
yeah.
because I did not know that Terry Gordy's nickname is Terry Bam Bam Gordy.
Yes, yes, it is.
So I guess they're battling for the name. This match was actually very, very. Uh, it looked like it was like a grudge match type of deal,
Yeah,
and I guess obviously for the name, but it was a lot slower than I would have liked. It was very slow paced, a lot of holds, a lot of like just brawling stuff. But when it came to the mainly the in ring stuff, it was when it was Terry Gordy, he was trying to wear Bam Bam down.
yeah,
Because Bam Bam was like punching and kicking and slamming him and stuff in the beginning, and so that kind of drug the pace down for me. And then the crowd was just kind of background noise because they weren't really going crazy for the
yeah.
match, so it kind of took me out of it. Not my favorite of the matches that I saw. But I guess he's the winner of the Bam Bams,
Yes.
and Bam Bam did catch Terry Gordy in the end.
Yeah.
Got him with the headbutt, and it was more of a counter to a move,
Okay.
so not that bad.
My next one is in New Japan Pro Wrestling. This
Also, wait,
is. Oh, go ahead.
before you go, because I know you know who they are. The reason Terry Gordy really lost the match was because the Eliminator showed up.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
is who,
there's Perry
Perry
Saturn
Saturn.
and I forgot the other guy.
I don't know the other guy's
The other
name
guy
by heart.
didn't have much of a career. Perry Saturn didn't.
Okay,
Talking about Eliminators, check out RVD Sabu versus the Eliminators. This fucking crazy ass
okay,
match.
all
Yeah.
right, all right.
So my next match is another random tag team match that I found. This is on Daily Motion. You kind of recommend this to when we've been doing this because you actually find a lot of weird videos and stuff. This is Bam Bigelow and Owen Hart versus Dr. Death Williams and the Pegasus Kid. This was
Hmm.
June 30th, 1990. So again, a random tag team match. Again, Bam Bigelow, especially in Japan, he was the powerhouse. He was like the giant gaijin and shit. That he was actually booked like that. If you look at his career in New Japan, he had some really good ones with like Vader and shit like that too. So I also saw the Antonio Inoki which was I'm still fighting on the third match, and it's a bunch of matches I found. But this was actually really fun because it mixes high flying and power with Bam Bam and Owen, and then Pegasus Kid actually kind of worked more high flyer and technician. So you kind of worked both ends. So him and Owen Hart had a very great chemistry, that Benoit and Owen. But then also Owen was worked really well with Stephen Williams as well. And that dude is just a mean, want to power bomb you in your head kind of guy. So it was a very hard hitting match.
Yeah, he is. He is.
So yeah, that'll be my second match.
And my third one, uh, this one is King's Arc, the channel.
Yep.
It is All Japan Pro Wrestling, 6/5/1990. So that's June 5th, 1990. This is Bam Bam Bigelow versus Kenta Kobashi.
Oh shit.
And this is the essence of big, meaty men slapping me because Kobashi is known for being not stiff, but you don't want to take his suplexes. You don't want to take his clotheslines. You don't want to take his power line.
Yeah.
None of you do not want to let him moonsault on you.
Yeah.
That is a big man to be doing moonsaults and all that stuff. So this is basically not like you said, uh, big man, big Bam Bam, and then he's kind of like the Japan's strong guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not a monster, but he's just as tall and he is muscled up. So I know that basically his legend is miles long. So it's pretty cool to see that this actually happened. And it just puts a little more shine on Bam Bam. It's like, damn, there you go. Look, he fought Kenta Kobashi, and the match was good.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard hitting. And the thing I like about Japan, what you mentioned about the giant gaijin, whenever Bam Bam taunted, they went crazy. Like they was boo, and they just hated him. But like it was on command, and I like, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. The investment of the fans. So for all that, I like this match a lot.
Nice.
Um, and Bam Bam won.
Nice.
He countered. I think this was his thing. Kobashi missed a moonsault, and Bam Bam countered it with a big splash, instead of a headbutt, and he pinned him.
So my last one. So I'm very like indecisive of what the last one gonna be. So I'm gonna pick one of my favorite matches that I've seen of Bam Bam, and it's one of the more popular ones. And in general, I just want people to get eyes on it because Bam Bam was a really good worker with with smaller people and stuff too. Um, so this was part of King of the Ring. This was '93 King of the Ring. This was like the tournament finals. This was Bam Bam Bigelow versus Bret the Hitman Hart. Um, this match was a hell of a good match. This was part of the pay per view of the King of the Ring. This is when Bret won the King of the Ring, so he Bam Bam does lose, but actually showed different sides of Bam Bam how he worked, and also him actually working with a technician and actually really selling and actually really going with it is actually one of my favorite matches of Bam Bam. So usually when people mention Bam Bam matches, this is one that I will mention. I have a few shout outs just because I want to check it out. The Bam Bam Bigelow Rey Mysterio WCW Nitro 3/1 1999. This was when Ray first got the mask taken out and he became the little giant killer.
Okay.
So he went on a winning streak of beating all these giants. He beat Kevin Nash. He was beating Scott Hall. He beat The Wall.
The wall.
And then he beat Bam Bam Bigelow. And then another one I want to shout out is Bam Bam Bigelow versus Taz ECW TV title. This is when he had the Taz mission and they went back and they went right to the ring.
Oh, okay. I saw the still for that one.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was actually a really good match. And also I've seen Vader versus Bam Bam, and that's something that also almost made the list too, because that match is again big men slapping meat. That's
Mm-hmm.
another match of it,
Yes, sir.
and it was aggressively angry big men slapping meat because Vader and him beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that's cool.
That was a good one, man. I like Bam Bam. I always been a fan of him.
Yes, sir.
He was Major Pain. He got his face kicked in.
Said Major Payne.
Yeah,
That's the movie with Damon Wayans.
yeah,
I don't. Yeah, I don't think I saw that movie.
yeah.
So.
It's a funny movie.
Mm-hmm.
But Bam Bam Bigelow's in it. They hire him to be. So he's so make this short. So he's like a military sergeant that got demoted because he liked killing people and he killed way too many people, so they declined him and they had him go teach in the school. So when he started teaching the cadets started hating him and they hired someone to fuck him up. So the
Okay.
person they hired was Bam Bam Bigelow. And
Wow.
he looked at Bam Bam Bigelow and was like, I'm about 2 seconds of kicking you upside your head. Then he said, I dare you. And then he beat the shit out of him. And then he was like, I thought you was just going to kick me upside of the head. He's like, you calling me a liar? And he kicks him right in the
That's that's great.
It's a silly movie. I think
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll like it. It was
Okay.
during the time. It was like right after Blankman and shit.
Oh, okay, okay. Like I have the vision of who he is because I have seen
Yeah.
pictures and then maybe
Yeah. Yeah.
the trailer. You know how it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So okay,
It's a good movie. All right. We go to
okay.
the week of wrestling. That is our Bam Bam Bigelow pick. Next person we'll pick be the end of the cast. I kind of have one in mind. Um. So we kick off with Monday Night Raw. This is Raw after Mania. So this is also going to be part of the review. Is the fact that this is supposed to be the Raw after Mania, and how they categorize this and how they promote this. It's supposed to be the must see Monday Night Raw to start the new cycle of the next WrestleMania, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They had some bits of that, but the rest of the show just felt like a regular ass Monday Night Raw that Vince ran, then Triple H ran, because there were some things that really just didn't fit or just didn't make sense.
If if I could say it felt like it was. I don't want to say rushed, but the way that it had nobody new
Yeah,
really,
yeah,
it felt like they didn't have a clear plan.
yeah. And what I hear from the rumors and all that stuff, I'm not sure. Like again, I'm not there, but that they tore up like five different plans for Monday Night Raw, and then the show is what we got.
That's how it felt. It
Yeah,
felt like that last thing that we saw was rushed.
yeah.
So okay.
So we start Monday Night Raw. Triple H thank the WWE Universe for the success of WrestleMania. He also talks about nothing's gonna happen, and what happens? Everything happens the same. Like nothing's gonna change, and what happened? Everything changed.
Everything.
We go him introducing Roman Reigns to the ring. They have a promo. Cody Rhodes interrupts, and they had a good back and forth, a good back and forth banter to it and stuff like that. Then Brock Lesnar emerges to partner with Cody, and it would be Solo and Roman versus Cody and Lesnar. Don't in the end of the night. Good promos, I'll say. Back in
Hmm.
business with that. Then we go to a squash match of Elias with Almas.
I don't understand. What did Elias do?
I don't know, but
Because I only say that because Merc, he fought him before Mania,
yeah,
and that was like a story type of deal. And then this match, it just happens. Elias is just there. He's just a body.
yeah,
So it again, this is one of those things that felt rushed. No story, no nothing.
yeah. I agree with that. We got Austin Theory disrespecting Rey Mysterio. They line up going into a match for the U.S. title. Bad Bunny was in the was seen. Honestly, this was kind of also like overly done. The moment you saw Bad Bunny, you knew exactly what was gonna go happen. Especially they were promoting Backlash being in Puerto Rico, so you kind of know he's been active before. You kind of see where that's gonna go. I didn't mind that because I knew what was gonna happen. But I did like, and I give Damien Priest credit, is the fact that when he did bug Bad Bunny, he was telling you like, "Yo, I told you." Like, see now you made me have to kick your ass. I didn't want to, but now I have to. Um, but with Rey Mysterio, with Dominic Mysterio helping Austin Theory win the match. Legado came in, which I think they're gonna get renamed to LWO, and a whole bunch of things. But I thought the match was solid. But is going to lead into a Bad Bunny teaming with Ray versus Damien and Dominic.
Hmm. Pretty much.
Yeah, I did like seeing Damien Priest beat the shit out of him though. It was actually pretty good.
I mean,
Nothing
I don't
against
mind.
bad.
I like
Yeah,
Bad Bunny
yeah,
because I just don't like that he helped Rey Mysterio win and Dom lose.
yeah. He cost your pick.
Yes, sir.
He cost all of us. Like that was one match that we all lost because we all had Dominic.
Gotcha, gotcha.
There was a couple of them that we all picked the wrong person and like the points and like that. You did better in NXT than you did in the Mania ones. I
Okay.
think half your points came from the NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, going more into that. Then we go to the tag team champions come out. They adjust the crowd, and then we got the Street Profits challenging them for the tag team titles.
And like I was saying, I thought the Street Profits shouldn't have had to do that. I thought that was the time to introduce a new tag team. Anybody could have been there. Pretty Deadly could have been there. I mean, I it would have been cool if it was somebody that was not in that
Maximum Male
ma-
Models.
maximum male models.
I would
Anybody
actually
who
like,
was not
yeah,
in that WrestleMania match, because that's again, it felt like, who do we got?
yeah,
And they just looked at the people who were already there. You know what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, still a good match, but I felt they wasted a nice,
pay per view match.
everybody can see opportunity for somebody new. So
Yeah, I agree with that. You know what? I'll agree with that. I enjoyed the match 100%, but I agree. There's talent that you have in NXT that you could have had show up and maybe lost their first match, but it would have been a highlight to actually see a new team come out. At Maximum Male Models, you have not used them in a match, so
it's true.
you could easily use them, and they bring comedy to it as well, so which it would be entertaining to see both of them go at it too.
Exactly. It's not like they're bad in the ring. You
Yeah,
know, you just gotta get. Um, they have to be in front of the people
yeah,
doing their thing for people to get used to them. That's how it is. And
yeah,
they're loud and they stand out. So that's, of course, that's what they want. You know what I
yeah,
mean? That's entertainment right there.
yeah. Next we got Seth Rollins coming out and saying his song with the WWE Universe. I felt that also was pointless, and that's something also you could have used to bring in up and coming talent from NXT, or bring a returning person to kind of start off something with Seth Rollins in the next pay per view.
Yeah, because all it was him singing his song, and then that got cut.
Yeah,
That didn't go anywhere. That
no,
was
I
very
didn't
odd.
do nothing. My idea, like I was telling you, I would like honestly if he was healthy, 100% healthy. I thought that would have been a cool little standoff, as in everyone singing a song, and then all of a sudden the lights go out and you hear glorious.
Big Bob, yes sir.
That would have been a fucking cool moment. And again, that would be a moment people would be talking about because again, a returning star that has not been on TV in a long time, or fuck it, Shinsuke Nakamura. You could have brought his
Well,
ass down to kick.
well, well, Merc. It's
Yeah,
funny you mentioned that. They announced him on the website instead of having him be a surprise.
yeah,
Again, I get it. I understand. You need to drum up excitement. But how cool would it have been if Shinsuke was a surprise? Just
yeah.
saying.
I would have brought that. I would have did that as well. Again, like there's many stars. You could have had Braun Breaker come up. You could have had someone from NXT that has not had a moment on Raw yet, like Braun Breaker,
Noam
like
Dar just came back.
huh?
He could. Noam Dar just came back. Let
Yes.
him. And remember, he was on Raw
The
with the
funny
Legion
thing,
of
the funny
Five.
thing is how NXT structured their after Mania thing. I think it was a better show than what Raw did,
I agree. I agree.
100%.
It
But
set up
yeah,
rivalries and it addressed a lot of things. Yeah.
but you could have had brought up somebody. You could have Tyler Bate. You could have brought up someone that hasn't been on Raw yet, and you could have done something with it. Had a special moment between Seth Rollins and him. I would have went more like Bobby Roode just because he has not been there, and his song is another song that people sing.
Yeah. Yeah. I get it.
So if he would have got pissed off about that,
Hmm.
and I think that would have been a perfect moment between them two. That's just me.
I agree.
Yeah. We got Bobby beating up Ali again.
I mean, it's still development for his character. So I'm not 100% mad. I just, with the way that show was structured, guess what? No time for a match. One, two, three, hurt lock.
Yeah.
So
This is probably the first Raw in a while that we barely got matches.
I
Like what?
mean, yeah,
Like length
yeah,
matches, yeah.
yeah. At length, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, Bobby beats Ali and he carrying that big ass Andre trophy. He's mad because he got to carry that shit.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, God damn it.
So
If
he
I have
go
to carry this, I'm gonna beat everybody's ass.
he's gonna hurt lock you as soon as he can because he's
Hmm.
tired. You're carrying that shit.
True.
Bianca Belair cross pass for Rhea Ripley. I thought that was a cool moment. Again, that's something that did not have to be. I think again that was a moment that you could have brought up a returning star or an NXT person.
I mean, I kind of disagree because I mean it's fine to plant the seeds now
Yeah,
because that's a big enough moment because Rhea is pretty much the star of WrestleMania.
yeah,
Let's just be honest.
no,
She kind of was.
100%.
So I could get behind that, but I would say the kind of disappointment feeds into the women's tag match where I go. It's odd they don't have the winners for the thing. I know it wasn't the showcase,
Yeah,
but that could be Raquel's spot.
yeah,
And I think that now she's in a tag team, she can't get that single shine.
or even live.
No, but I'm just saying, like, remember, it
Yeah,
was remember the picture.
yeah,
They
yeah.
brought that up. Oh,
Oh
the
yeah,
picture. Rhea was what was it, Raw champion. Um
Bianca was SmackDown.
yeah, Bianca was SmackDown and Raquel was NXT.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. That would have been a better. That would have been a cool moment.
Hmm.
Yeah. Here we go to the tag match. We got Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan defeat Damage Control.
Again, solid match, not the longest match. Um Damage control on a losing streak. I don't
Yeah.
know. Was but is again, this is the thing about when champions start losing is it's like it's just like once you lose the belt, you lose all your powers. Is that it? You're just
Yeah.
not good anymore. You know what I mean? There's no dominance is what I'm saying. So it just feels weird. And I already have my feelings about how the weekend went.
Yeah.
Like it didn't make sense.
Yes.
Where's Ronda and Baszler to
Yeah.
get the title shot? Like I don't care if people don't like them. Do it and get it out of the way already.
Yeah.
What are you holding this? Like now there's two other girls who lost a showcase match. That's my problem.
Yeah.
How are you gonna let the people who lost in the showcase fight again? What logic does that serve? So that's my issue.
We got Riddle. Riddle surprises the Miz and Bo Derrickson.
I mean, I
Poor
should have
Miz.
been somebody else. Good to see Matt Riddle back,
Yeah.
but was that my number one on my? Yeah, I need him back now. Nah, man. Nah.
I think it would have been better set to have him surprise return SmackDown than with their moment they did than this one.
Yeah, too early. I
Yeah.
agree.
And then our main event was supposed to be a tag team match between it was Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar versus Solo and Roman. And Brock Lesnar was like, you know what? Fuck your shit, and beat the shit out of Cody Rhodes.
He destroyed him, and I thought it was glorious. It was so good. I was actually glued to my screen as he flung Cody left and right, threw
Yes.
him all over the place, beat his ass, F5'd him on some stairs for no reason, no reason, and then get threw the gloves off with the double middle fingers. What's going on?
Angry.
So that was a fine moment. That was
That
probably the best moment of Raw, I
that's
have
the
to say.
highlight of Raw. Yeah. Monday Night Raw. You give it.
I'm gonna give it a B minus.
I'm gonna go C
Lucky you got
plus.
that.
That's probably one of our lowest grades for Raw in a while because it's been consistent for quite some time. But it's just the structure, the way you promote Raw after Mania. I expect more out of the Raw than a regular ass Raw. So I'm holding you to a standard of what you do after Mania.
Hmm. I agree.
We go to NXT, which was a way better show after Mania than Monday Night Raw.
I agree.
We kick off with Pretty Deadly defeats the Family.
This was very fun. There was a lot of entertainment. Um, and it's this one had built up because of WrestleMania. And they were talking smack, and they started that fight in the locker room, and they got kicked out. So
Yep.
it made sense.
Yeah, it was good. We got Dragon Lee versus Nathan Frazier. Another great match.
Hmm. And this was because they had fought in the 5-way, right? No,
Yes.
no, no. They didn't they fight. Oh no, I'm thinking of this match. My bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, they just Dragon Lee just fought in the 5-way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nathan
I'm just
Frazier
thinking of
lost his
this one.
spot to who he lost
Was it Axiom, right?
to? Axiom,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah. We got Indy Hartwell having a promo, and then it led into a match. Indy Hartwell defeats Zoe Stark for the NXT Championship. Those are good.
That was solid. That was very solid.
hmm And then we have the return of Cora Jade.
About time. Because where was she at? Was she hurt, or did she just hide in the shadows?
I guess they were just waiting for a right moment for her to return,
Hmm.
and they did a great. Like I actually enjoyed how they did that. Again, a
True.
return that was used well. Crowds
True.
running
True.
crazy with it too. You had Ivy Nile defeat Tatum Paxley. That was pretty solid too. That was an okay match.
I mean, yes, it was, but also I think that was the right choice because Ivy now is the one that's been there longer than her. She's battle tested, is what I'm saying.
Yes. We got a couple of promo stuff too. We got where we got Cora Jade and Lyra Valkyrie kind of have a little words together. You have Brooke Jensen becoming angry with Josh Bridge and Fallon over Kenya James. You had Elba Faya and also Dawn look into NXT to see how were the next components. You had Chase U gonna have an MVP thing next week on NXT.
Hmm.
Noam Dar returns to the NXT. That was during the match of Nathan Frazier and Dragon Lee, and he came back with the Heritage Cup.
Yeah, that's right. He did win that. Okay.
And then JC Jane also had a promo going towards Gigi Dolan for next week.
Of course. Of course.
Our last match was Wesley defeats Axiom for the North American title. This dude's
Incredible.
killing it, and it was a great match.
Yes, sir.
And
Actually, I'm gonna
then,
get his time.
yeah, I think so too. And then last but not least, we had Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams addressed the NXT crowd, and they brought Braun Breaker out to kind of like raise his hand again and shit like that. And Braun Breaker snapped and beat the shit out of Carmelo Hayes. You know what? He had it coming.
Yeah, of course.
He
You
did
don't
to
just do
himself.
that.
He did that to himself. Like he gave you he gave you your flowers after the match. He actually raised your hand after the match. Why are you gonna keep embarrassing the dude?
Exactly.
Your ass had it coming. Like I had as much as you're supposed to get the heat because he's supposed to be like going heel kind of thing, but I understood him. I was like, I don't blame him.
Hmm.
He's like he had that shit coming. He beat the shit out of Trick Williams too. Like he did that. He got some too. I like the direction of Steiner going more aggressively heel kind of thing, and I think it's gonna be fun to see. NXT, we give it.
I give it a A minus. Very good show.
Yeah, I'm gonna go A. I'm gonna go solid A. I actually like. I like a lot of the direction it's going. I like the fact that it was a balanced story throughout the whole show, that they had more story coming through, and then the ending. I again, I understood Braun Breaker for attacking because yeah, he's embarrassing the motherfucker. He got
Hmm.
pissed. I like the return of Cord Jade. I like the Norm. I like to see Norm Dar. I always like the Norm Dar. I think he's great as well. So the NXT is looking interesting going into the next couple weeks and stuff. So all right, um, moving to AEW Dynamite, and we kick off with Absolute Ricky Stars versus Juice Robinson. It went to a no contest because you saw another Bullet Club music hit, and Jay White comes out and beats the shit out of Ricky Starks.
They beat that man ass.
Um,
Good for them. Good for them. Beat his ass.
I like Jay White. I'm happy that he's there, but they could have did that better.
What do you mean?
Like he came out of nowhere. Like honestly, like the crowd. I don't even think the crowd was had a chance to react to what he did.
I mean, they went crazy when his music hit. I think
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
yeah. But I thought it was like I thought they could have brought him in a higher standard like thing. But again, beat up Ricky Stark. All right.
I guess you got to put it in perspective. They
Yeah,
trying to elevate Ricky.
by
Can't say,
beating his ass.
but he's fighting people in a higher tier than him.
That is true.
Jay White is a champion,
Yeah.
former champion, big boy champion. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about.
Oh,
Now
shout
he's
outs to
fighting a higher tier
Sonata.
guy.
Yeah. Shout outs
What
to
happened?
Sonata, the
Oh
new
yeah, yeah, yeah.
IWGP champion.
Yes, sir.
I thought he was gonna win that shit like 3 years ago.
I agree. I agree.
But I'm
I
happy he
agree.
got it. It took him to wear underwear in order to win it.
He had to go through his trials and tribulations. I get it.
No, he just had to take off the pants. He won the
No, he
title.
had to go through his goat man phase.
The
All
goat
that
man,
hair.
and then he took off his pants and he won. He wore trunks. All right, next match is the Trios Championship match. You got Orange Cassidy and the Best Friends versus House of Black. Good match.
That was good. That was good. I had feel good moments when the best friends came out in the car again. I was like, ah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Oh yeah,
Super
it was in
comeback.
Long Island. So every time they do it in Long Island, he is gonna get drove by his mama.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good match. Good match.
We got AEW World Women's Championship match. You got Jamie Hayter versus Rio. I thought this was actually a really fun match as well.
Solid, hard hitting. I like the back and forth. The proper way to use a smaller opponent. I say she certain things she was doing. You know when they start going back and forth and throwing elbows, and
Yeah.
Jamie Hayter was like, "That don't hurt," and just started knocking her out. And I was like, "Yes, somebody please just realize that the person that weighs half your weight, they're not hurting you. Stop it."
Yep,
So
yep.
good.
You have the Acclaim rejects the JSA, and then AEW celebrates MJF Day.
I thought I don't know how you gonna tell Daddy Magic no. That ain't right.
Yeah.
That ain't right. Why they do that? And the
uh.
MJF thing was fine. I
Yeah.
thought it was perfectly MJF.
Yeah.
It made sense. I appreciate that he can sing.
Yeah.
Good for him. He carried it too. I think that if you're from Long Island or the greater New York area, like where they're from, that whole segment was a treat because of the politician that was there, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So it was definitely for them.
Yeah. Commander versus Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara wins. Solid
That
match.
surprised me. But I get the direction, but I was surprised he won because that dude is brand new and he's a highlight reel machine actually.
Yeah.
So
But he has not won a match.
Commander, really?
Yeah, he hasn't won a match. Maybe on Dark.
Wow. Oh, he's been there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
He had like
Wow.
maybe 4 matches on TV and he lost all 4.
Mm.
FTW Championship. We got Hook versus Ethan Page. And
Well, I know that they did that on Rampage.
oh yeah. Why did it go further up? Wait, is this the same show? No, this was on Dynamite.
Didn't they set it up though?
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't they set up the match? Because
Oh,
I
they announced
see.
it. Oh yeah, yeah. I read it wrong.
Hmm.
That was announced
Hmm.
by Tony Khan, and also Nigel McGuinness showed up, and they announced the Wembley Stadium event of All In.
Good stuff.
Hook did submit Page though.
Mm.
He did
Mm.
win. He did fight him. Blackpool Combat Club battle against amateur begins, and they beat the shit out of a bunch of random dudes. Man, I liked the promo. I like the fact that they're heel. I think they're gonna be fun heels because they're just gonna beat the shit out of people.
They beat up professional wrestlers.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
And then our main event was career for titles. So you had AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR versus the Guns. The Guns entrance was pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Hmm. Hmm.
FTR and the Guns. Very good match. Very good main event. FTR is the AEW World Tag Team Champions.
And surprise, surprise.
Yes.
When you get a stipulation like we're gonna leave, Usually,
Yeah.
the person wins the match. Just saying.
Yeah.
It's wrestling.
Yeah. Good match.
Congratulations.
What do you give AEW Dynamite?
Dynamite, I give a solid B. I want to say B plus. The tag match was actually pretty good. The trios match I liked a lot. I liked the smaller things. The MJF thing was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna give it a B plus.
I'll go B plus. I'll go B plus as well. We go to Friday Night SmackDown. I did not get to watch Impact. Sorry. I know Alexander did get the belt dropped off him, and Kushida and this dude can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Macklin, right?
Macklin, yeah, they're fighting for the
Mm-hmm.
title.
Mm-hmm.
We go to Friday Night SmackDown. We kick off with the Brawling Brutes versus defeats Imperium. Very good match.
I was surprised
Yeah,
they won. That's the only thing because they kind of come up short against them, but
yeah,
it was a unit. So
yes.
yep,
And Pete
good stuff.
Dunne, well, he's still Butch, but he's looking more and more like Pete Dunne. No more overalls.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's basically got his old gear on. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Ricochet defeats Ivar. That was a solid match too.
they are always good. Both of the
Hmm.
Raiders, they are very very good.
Yeah.
I'll give them the credit every time. So yep,
Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defeat Natty and Shansi. Solid match too.
solid if not predictable because obviously they have momentum for their the tag match on Monday, right?
Yes.
So I I did not think that Raquel and Liv were gonna lose.
Yes. And now they're number one contenders.
Well, they were number one
Oh, they
contenders for
were.
Monday.
Yes, they were. So,
Hmm.
now Triple H comes out and he reveals that we are getting a draft in May. Then introduces the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley, and the SmackDown Women's Champion. This led into the Judgment Day defeats the LWO.
LWO.
I want to see Zelina versus Rhea.
I
Their
mean,
chemistry's getting good.
she keep getting folded up though.
Yeah.
She gotta be careful.
Yes. And then we end the show with Jey Uso defeat Sami Zayn. This also had some backstage stuff, and like I was saying that Sami Zayn gotta stop talking to his ex because he's gonna get himself in trouble with KO. KO gets jumped in backstage, and then it line up Sammy by himself versus Jey Uso. Solo interrupts the match.
I got a question. Did they say who hit KO?
No, they just
Somebody
jumped
take
him.
responsibility?
Yeah, they didn't really say anything.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So it led into that, and then after the match, there was a beatdown on Sami Zayn, and comes out to save the day is Matt Riddle. Kudos to Michael Cole saying why he was taken out, and it was the bloodline that took him out for a couple months and stuff like that, and it actually made sense why he came out. So this is where I would have had the surprise return.
Yeah. Yeah.
That made more sense.
I agree.
SmackDown, where you give it?
SmackDown, I'm gonna give it a A minus. I thought it was a very good show. I thought the energy was a lot higher than Raw. I thought the Riddle coming out at the right time made more sense than Raw. I thought just I don't know, it just felt better. Well, it actually had more cohesive story with even with the bloodline. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
good.
I agree. I'll go A. It was a solid show. It was a good SmackDown after Mania. Without having the all of the returns, everything made sense for story, and I was fine with that.
Hmm.
All right, now we go to AEW Rampage. You got Hook versus Ethan Page. Hook beats him, makes him tap. It was an okay match.
It was solid. I thought it
Yeah,
was great.
yeah, it was
Like
good.
because you know what? It's one of the few matches where Hook's fighting somebody who's really good. Because I give Ethan Page his props. It was a he was getting his ass whooped and it looked good. The Hook needs to sell sometimes, right?
Yeah,
So there you go.
it's good.
Um, and it's still just kind of amazing to see Hook's the size difference between people though, and just how strong he is. That shit is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And also that the instant tap.
Yes.
He catches you in the red room. He tapped instantly.
Yes. He was like, nope.
Nah, man.
You got the acclaim, Daddy Magic, and Cool Hand Ang versus the Infantry, Bobby Orlando, and LSG. So he just bought fought a bunch of jobbers. It was what it is.
It was what it was. It was more for story,
Yeah,
and I'm actually like enjoying it.
yeah.
I'm a little disappointed in them, but I'm enjoying. Why you can't just you don't say no to Daddy Magic? How dare you?
But he did. Darby Allin defeats Lee Moriarty.
I mean, not a bad match, but I was there for what happened to Darby Allin at the end, and that
Yes,
was hilarious.
yes. Brian Cage beat the crap out of him, and then Swerve comes out.
He spun that boy like a top.
Yep.
Oh man, it was beautiful.
And then the main event was Anna Jay versus Julia Hart. Um, it was an okay match for what it was. I just have issues with their promos. I didn't care for their promos, and then also they're supposed to be portraying a character, and they just not portraying it in the ring. They just go their regular thing. The match itself wasn't that bad though.
Yeah, I mean, upon looking at the highlights for it, the one thing I will say is that I'm so disappointed that Julia doesn't a miss use the black mist.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And because I know she had when she started going darker, she started using the submissions and stuff.
Yeah.
In the match, she doesn't really do it. She still does her cartwheels and stuff. I'm like, I get it. That's what you're good at. But for the evolution of the character, I think she should do more like submissions that looks painful. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Stuff that looks nasty and mean. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I did watch the Battle of the Belts. So Rampage, where you give it?
Rampage, I give it a C plus.
I go the same. I did watch the Battle of the Belts. The Orange Cassidy Draslico was a solid match. The Jade Cargill and Billy Starks, could have lived without it.
I had I told you my feelings about it. I have no ill will towards Billy Starks, but
Yeah,
when you start throwing kicks and I can see you ain't throwing them right, and like I'm not a practitioner, but I could tell looking at somebody like Malachi, looking at somebody like Valkyria in NXT,
yeah,
like I could see when a person throws kicks that knows how to throw kicks, and Billy Starks kicks look ugly,
yes.
and she was throwing a lot of them. Ugh, oh bueno.
And then the main event was the Lucha Bros versus Powerhouse Hobbs and QT Marshall.
That was solid, and that was fun.
Yeah,
I mean, I get the point you made about them losing with Hobbs just having the championship and losing, but I mean, they didn't lose to jobbers, they lost to champs, so I get it.
yeah,
But the match itself was actually fun, so I
yeah. It
give it
was a
five.
solid match. Battle of the Belts. I'll go B. It was a better.
Yeah, I agree. I
No,
agree.
I'll go B minus. Like that women's title match could have. I could
Yeah,
care
it could
less
have been
about.
better. Yeah.
But the first match and the last match were worth watching.
Hmm. Hmm.
I watched the backstage thing that they have now, the AEW All Access. It's interesting.
Okay.
It kind of gives you a better light on Sammy Guevara, and I think it's a good show for him in particular because all the negativity he has since Tyler Valkyrie, the Taya, Tay Mello, um, Ty Conti, sorry, or Ty Mello, whatever her name is now. it kind of shows like the negativity they had when they got married and all that stuff, and the fans are really like recepting him. But it kind of goes into the backstage of showing that he just wanted to get along with people and things like that. They showed him and Eddie Kingston kind of hashed everything out and actually talking and stuff like that. So there's actually showing like a good personality side of him that most won't show because the dirt sheets will shit on him whatever he does. So you kind of actually see his side of things when he fought Brian and the two out of three falls with Brian. He was like so fucking excited for that match, and him and Brian had a really good talk after the match and things like that. So they actually showed a lot of nice access with it. The first episode was Adam Cole talking about his injuries and things like that, and with Britt Baker there as well. So it's a pretty solid watch. I actually will watch this more than I'll watch Rampage. I think it's more interesting sometimes, depending on
I
the
would
match.
just like to say, number one, Chugs. Number two, yeah, but what about Andrade? They
Yeah,
show that.
yeah.
I want to see that fight. What was they talking about?
I want to see
Because
the
they was
Punk.
talking some,
Oh,
they was talking some
they
real
said a
stuff.
dog flew out, flew across the room. I want to see the Punk and the Elite fight. Someone got bit.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
that's pretty
someone
funny.
got bit and all that shit. I don't know. Anyway, all right, that's the weekend wrestling. Next thing we do is the podcast we listen to. There were a lot of podcasts that I have not had a chance to really catch up to them, so I'm still listening to a bunch of them from Brian Satin during the WrestleMania week. He had like a ton that came out. Um, but Athena was on Renee Parquet's. That was a really good listen.
I did get to see the Hey EW with Athena, and that
I
is
didn't get to watch
hilarious.
that one yet. I have it on my list to watch though.
That's very funny. He actually got her to break, and I think that's really funny.
Yeah. Um, you had Corey Graves and Kevin Patrick just talk about WrestleMania on After the Bell. Shout outs to Wrestling Ranger Wrestling for your podcast. They talk about all the figures that got released. Got announced and WCW Nitro Ring a set and all that stuff. They talk about that on the cast. That's a crazy set too.
Hmm.
It's $400 too much though for me.
I like that DDP likes his figure. That's enough for me.
I like the DDP. The Steiner, I think it needs more detail.
It's accurate though. Just
Yeah,
saying.
but yeah. Who else? Dolph Ziggler was on Chris Van Vliet. That was a good conversation. Yeah, Kip Saban on the AEW podcast.
Okay.
Damian Priest was with Ryan Stanton. He also had a bunch. He had Charlotte. He had Rey Mysterio. He had quite a few other people during the WrestleMania week. So definitely check it out when you get a chance. Um, but that's all I have with the podcast.
I would. I have one thing to say that if you have been watching Celtic Warrior workouts, this week was Matt Riddle.
Yes.
So check that out.
Yep. And last but not least is the wrestling in retrospect, and is my pick this week. And I just had someone in mind too. Fuck, where is it? Tell you right now. Where is it? Where's the video? Where's the video? I just had it. I was actually gonna go with Taz.
Okay. Good stuff.
Yes. So Taz would be our pick for this week. I just thought about him because I watched the Bam Bam Taz match and I was like, yeah, Taz actually had a lot of crazy matches too. Like yeah, him versus Sabu, where Sabu like taped his jaw back
Yeah.
to keep fighting. Yeah, Sabu was a crazy one. So yeah, Taz will be this week's pick. And we wrap this up. This is the Wrestling Battle Podcast. Thank you for listening. You can listen to us on SoundCloud and also on Spotify. Red Cyclone Link and Mark with the Mic. Follow me on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch. All Mark with the Mic. Also follow my TikTok on Mark with the Mic. I've been posting figures and beers and everything else in between for WrestleMania week. Definitely check that out when you get a chance. And follow Red Cyclone Link.
Yes, sir. Make sure you follow us anywhere and everywhere. We're Cyclonic. That is Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. That is YouTube. That is SoundCloud. That is Spotify. And we got a WordPress, so check it out.
Yep, yep. All right. Always remember, follow the Chinkies.
He's hungry.
Peace out, later, and I guess happy Easter.
Don't eat the rabbit.
Don't eat the rabbit. Don't trust a rabbit laying eggs, man.
True that. True that.
They're